This measurement is to find the center of the dispenser sump to be able to line it up in a straight line within the middle of the island. By using a measuring tape, the worker can find the center from the sides. By using measuring tape, the worker can find the center from the bottom. Now that the sump has been marked for where the pipe will enter, the worker must drill a hole using a hole saw to the proper size according to manufacturer's specs. This is how it looks after the holes have been drilled out with a hole saw. Now that the center hole has been drilled out, the worker must clamp the bolt ring centered in place with vice grips and drill out the bolt holes. One boot, one ring, and a bag of nuts. This is what the worker will find in a boot package. Once the holes are cut out, the worker must take the rubber boot and install it into the hole from the outside of the sump. Then line up the ring onto the bolts from the inside of the sump. At this point, the worker must open the package of nuts and tighten them onto the boot bolts. Be sure not to over-tighten the bolts or they will break and the worker will not be able to get a proper seal. When this is all complete, it should look like this. These metal pegs with a string run between them are put in place to help with the positioning of sumps and to help find proper depth as well. This is where those marks that were put on the top ring will come in handy. The string that is showing a straight line where the island will be is going to match up with those marks. Then the worker will know the sump is in straight line with the island. Once the worker knows the sump is in its spot, the worker must manually backfill around the sump to make sure it doesn't move. Be sure not to pour directly beside the sump. Doing so could shift the sump and move it out of its set position. Then the job would have to be restarted.